living the dream. That's the three words that most technology entrepreneurs use to justify going into business for themselves. They know something that all of us want to know, we don't understand, they know how to do it, and they make a lot of money in many cases as technology entrepreneurs. What's it really take to be a technology entrepreneur, to start your own company, make a lot of money, have a good time, live the dream? Today I want to introduce you to Andy Hawkins and Tony Cody. These are the co-partners and the owners of Concentric Corporation out of Omaha, Nebraska. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
This is Next Biz Success, and you guys apparently are one of the best examples of a Next Biz Success we've seen lately.
Well, thank you.
Well, congratulations for being here and for having a success since 2004, right? Is that right?
Correct.
All right. Andy, you are the guy that kind of focuses on the relationship building, the staffing, and the people, and bringing in IT. Is that right?
That's correct.
All right. And then Tony over here, he's the odd couple, right? He's the technology guy, he's the digital guy, he's the network infrastructure guy. Do I have that correct?
Yeah, the guy in the back.
The guy in the back and the guy in the front.
Right.
Do all technology firms, startups, do they have to have that kind of obvious odd couple contrast in personality and skills? Is it just a good idea, or?
No, I think it helps them. I absolutely think it helps them.
Yeah.
I think it helps have someone out front and doing the marketing, doing the relationships, doing the connects, going to the meetings, explaining the business. And I think it takes another expertise like Tony has to stay in the back and actually see clients too, but go out there and do the hands-on work.
Tony, what does it mean to have a guy like him out front, cultivating relationships and stuff? Does that allow you to focus on, building code and setting up networks, or is it a psychological relief? What's that like, really, to have? What's your perspective on the partnership?
Oh, it's absolutely critical. It makes things easy for me in the back. The last thing I need to worry about is where the next sale is coming from. That's Andy's bailiwick, and I just let it happen.
Yeah.
We trust each other implicitly to allow that to happen.
Yeah.
I know that if he is going out to get some sales, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And my responsibility is to help him close those sales and get the devices that we sell or the software that we roll out and support out there on the desktops.
You know, when you have a relationship where guys have two very different strengths and personality types, I can see how that would be a great thing, but I can also see how it could be a little bit difficult. He comes in, he says, "Hey, Tony, got a great new concept, big idea, cool new thing," and you're like, "Settle down, Andy," or let's talk about the details and the process and so on. Is that what happens as well, or have you gotten used to this?
You must have been
guy?
in our office lately. Yeah, that is what happened.
What's it like actually to be back there in the planning sessions with the two of you?
Oh, it's great. It's been 5 years of constant ideas from both our parts, particularly Andy, because he's out there reading the market, understanding what's going on, bringing the ideas back to us and having us just throw it up against the wall and see what sticks in terms of, can we support that, can we sell it, and most true to the overall business community, is it a viable service that they need?
Right, and you just mentioned the phrase read the market. You just finished your sentence there with talking about do they need. I know you guys started 4 years ago and you used to be with a different technology firm and so on. How did you really decide? I mean, it's obvious you have some skills that are compatible, but how did you really decide there was a need for your unique set of services and products? Why don't you start us off on that?
Good question. Evaluating the marketplace. I mean, being in technology for over 12 years, especially in Nebraska, you get to know certain companies and the people within it and see what their business. And businesses always change.
Yeah.
They're always changing. So it's how do you fit the technology so it can grow their business.
Did you just kind of follow your gut reaction, or did you methodically go out and survey a bunch of people and say, would you hire us if we got, went off and did our thing?
No, I didn't do the proactive, hey, would you hire me if I did my thing? But it was something that, hey, we think we have a solid relationship, a solid name in town, and your name is everything in Nebraska.
Sure.
And so it was a leap of faith to go out there saying, we think we know the market well enough, our clients well enough, we'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
So I took my 6 months of financial reserve, if you will, and said, we're going to give this 6 months, and so did he, and took the chance, and it paid out.
Now, did your spouse, your family, your children, did they say, "Dad, 6 months, is that it? You're going to have to make it, otherwise we got to go back to a public school instead of parochial school"? I mean, how did that go? Did you have some tough private discussions with your families or your and say, I think I'm going to do this, but I only have so much money and so much time? How did that go for you, Tony?
It actually went pretty easily for me. My wife is very successful in her own right, so it actually was very easy for me to step out there and make sure.
So you had a little bit of a financial
Absolutely.
pad. All right, that's helpful.
Plus I looked at the partner I was going to have. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better salesman than Andy, so it was an easy going back to I can completely trust that he's going to go out and do it.
Sure.
So from that perspective, it was an easy discussion with my wife.
Good. Let me ask you this question. Has anything happened in the last 3, 4, 5 years that you didn't expect to have happen that kind of popped up and said, "Oh my gosh, we never thought about that"?
Growth. as much as it has been, which is great. I mean, this is what we targeted for.
Sure.
But you never know how successful you'll be. You work hard, and then every now and then you stick your head above and you say, okay, where are we at now? And it happens to be that we're doing all right. So I wouldn't say it's unexpected. It's a nice, pleasant thing to happen. But we've come a long way, and we sometimes look back and say, wow, how did we get here this fast?
Did you have a big financial resource? Did you just kind of bootstrap this thing? I mean, did you ever walk into a bank after a year or two and say, hey, we're really doing great out there. Would you please give us a big line of credit? Did you have to go through that or not?
Yes and no, actually. We were fortunate to receive a lot of additional contracts that were going to require a lot of upfront cash. And while we had that cash up front, it made a lot more sense after discussing with our CPA. It made a lot more sense to go ahead and bite the bullet on some interest charges and finance a little bit and make sure, because there's always a lag time. When you have a large contract like that, there's a lag time from when you're actually getting payment from the client.
You know, we're trying to talk today
Exactly.
to would-be technology entrepreneurs. You just mentioned lag time. Tell us a little bit about that. What's the sales cycle, and what should a technology entrepreneur be prepared to endure? You get a contract, you make a pitch, they say, yeah, we're going to use you guys. When does the money start to flow, and what do you do in the meantime?
That's a very good question. What you really have to pay attention to is the fact that you're going to provide a product or a service, and that could be whether it's another server, another piece of equipment, or a person that's going to sit and write code on the customer premise.
Right.
You have to set up your net terms. It's all part of contract negotiation. So it may be up to 60 days before you see that first check. In the meantime, you're carrying a staff. You're paying the employees that are taking care of
Got
that.
payroll?
Absolutely.
My
and,
goodness.
You can't set up net terms with them. So.
Yeah, Well, you know, Andy, you mentioned to me as we were preparing for this interview the importance of an advisor or an outside person with objective, realistic advice. Give me a little bit about that. Why is that so important?
Oh, it's integral for any business, a small business, especially starting out, to have someone that's a third-party, unbiased mentor or advisor to you. That could be your accountant, that could be your attorney, it could be your wife or your husband.
How about your father-in-law?
You know, that's not a bad idea either, but someone that's going to give you the straight scoop.
Yeah, okay. Very important. You agree with that, Tony?
Oh, absolutely. I did rely on my father-in-law, actually, here in the area. He's
I hit it, didn't I?
35-year teacher, so he's met a lot of people. So he had lots of advice to give in terms of dealing with people and understanding the marketplace.
And you have to be able to take the advice without getting defensive and weave it into your own subjective vision or perspective of how things are unfolding for you.
Exactly.
Right.
Any small business, you have to be open-minded and flexible, willing to change and willing to take ideas, evaluate them, make sure they work best for you, and then make the changes.
Did your business model change much? Did the pricing schedules change much? I mean, were you kind of making it up as you went along, or are you still doing pretty much the way you made profits 4 or 5 years ago?
We're following our core principles, and that is integrity and honesty and communication with our clients and the folks that we have on our staff also.
Okay.
So our core models have not changed. Have we done a couple different things here to tweak business and maybe gain a little bit more?
Well, Andy and Tony from Concentric Corporation, Omaha, Nebraska, I appreciate your insight today on how to be a successful technology firm. You've been around now for 4 or 5 years. You continue to grow explosively. You're right on the cutting edge. And most interestingly to me, it's a classic example of the odd couple personality working together compatibly to really breed success. Thanks for coming, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bet. Well, you know, here on Next Biz Success, we talk to a lot of companies, but technology entrepreneurialism is an exciting it never gets old. Everybody wants to be involved and live the dream the way these guys from Concentric Corporation have been doing. Tune in next time, Next Biz Success. We have more just-in-time video training advice for entrepreneurs who need to succeed. I'm Lynn Hinderrocker. Keep on going, keep on growing.